Hi, I'm Heather Choate with GetYourSexyBackPlan.com, and today I want to talk about 8 ways to feel fuller and feel more satisfied when you're consuming less calories. And this is a really important topic when you're trying to lose body fat. We know that we have to have that calorie deficit. It's basically a mathematical equation. You have to have calorie deficit to be burning more than what you're taking in order to lose body fat. Now, you can lose water weight without doing this, but you cannot burn body fat until you put your body into a deficit. I know for me and for a lot of people out there, that's kind of scary. Like, it doesn't feel good to be hungry, and we get a little bit nervous about putting our bodies into the deficit because we don't want to be weak. We don't want to be feeling shaky. That's never a good feeling. And we don't want to have a lack of energy. We want our energy to be up. And so I'm telling you that there is a way to do it where you can burn body fat, but have energy, have mental clarity, and feel really energized and great while still losing that body fat on a calorie deficit diet. So I have 8 tips for you today on how you can feel fuller while on a calorie deficit. The first thing is mindfulness. What I mean by that is being aware of the moment and ditching the distractions at the dinner table or breakfast table, lunch table, even when you're eating snacks. When you are eating, you need to be fully engaged in that process. We live in an age of incredible distraction with the television on, don't eat in front of the computer, even your cell phone. There has been a recent meta-analysis study done that showed that eating during distraction leads to overeating. We're not really being mindful. We're just kind of putting the food in our mouth, and we end up eating more calories than we would if we weren't distracted. So that's definitely not what we want to do. And I feel like a lot of health and vitality in our lifestyle should be centered around being in the present moment, being in the now and enjoying it for what it is. And when you're distracted, you're not focusing on that. And so just take a moment to focus on nourishing and nurturing your body with this wholesome food. Take deep breaths and enjoy, savor the taste of your food, and know that you're giving a beautiful gift to yourself. Take the time to just fully engage yourself in your eating, and that mindfulness will lead to a lot of really positive results. So with that, put the distractions away and be mindful. Now, number 2 is to slow down. In the Western part of the world, especially, we eat way too fast. We've been taught to eat fast since we were little. I don't know why it's part of our culture, but it is. So we need to slow down and take that time to enjoy our meals and our snacks. So here are a couple tricks to do that. One is to use smaller utensils. That will help you take smaller bites. And then chew your food thoroughly. And also another trick is to actually put your fork down between your bites. This is something my mom taught me when I was little, and it drove me crazy. Like, put your fork down after every single bite. But now I'm really grateful that she did that, because it really does help you to slow down and enjoy eating much more. Now, the third tip is to listen to your body. So pay attention when it gives you that signal that you have had enough. You want to stop eating somewhere between you don't want to feel famished and you don't want to feel stuffed or full. You just want to feel satisfied. You want to feel balanced, like you've given your body the nourishment it needs, and thank yourself for that, and then know that you're done. So take a deep breath and take that moment to listen to your inner self and tune in with yourself and rate yourself on where you are on that scale. If you're famished, or if you're stuffed, or if you're just satisfied, and use that every time you eat as a gauge. And then our 4th tip is to put everything you eat for your meal. You should have your meals planned out and proportions planned out. We'll get more into that. But you put everything onto one plate. And I have shifted from using the big dinner plates to more of like a dessert plate because of the portions that I need. So seeing that plate full of food gives a signal to your brain saying, I have fullness, I have abundance, I have all these nutrients and goodness that are going into me. And that really helps you feel like you're getting what you need instead of like this huge plate with a little tiny bit of food on it. It just doesn't feel as right. And then the fifth thing is, after you are done eating everything on your plate, take a 15 to about 20-minute break before going back for seconds. There is science to this. Science has shown that it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for the stomach to send a signal to the brain that it is full and that it is had enough and doesn't need to eat anymore. So after you eat your plate of food, wait 15 to 20 minutes. Again, take that deep breath, check in with yourself and see where you are on your hunger scale. If you are still hungry, then you may go back and have seconds because your body's telling you need a little bit more. Most likely though, you will get the signal that you are full and then you're done. Now, number 6, now we're going to talk about what foods you should be choosing. So we recommend choosing fat, fiber, and protein to give you that feeling of fullness. I especially recommend the fiber and the protein. The fiber takes longer to digest and really helps give you that feeling of fullness. You also want to choose foods that have some fat because that sends a signal to your brain especially, and especially protein. Protein is huge for us ladies because we want to build that lean muscle mass. That's going to give us the sexy sculpted look that we want. We cannot get that lean muscle mass unless we are taking in sufficient protein. You want to aim for 45 to 50% protein daily. Now that can vary a little bit based on individual needs, but that's kind of the general recommendation for getting really lean, strong, and healthy. So pick foods that have fat, fiber, protein. Now, number 7 is to pick foods that add bulk, add volume, but are low on calories, low on the calorie scale. So what kind of foods are those? We're talking about foods that are high in volume. So think of the difference between a bunch of grapes and then raisins. The grapes have all the fiber and the water in them, and the raisins are all shriveled up and have the same amount of calories, but because they're so small, your body doesn't get that registration of volume and the feeling of fullness. So you want to think high fiber, high water content foods. Those are going to be your vegetables and your fruits. So your vegetables is the green leafy vegetables, your spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, green beans. I'm trying to think what else I like. I like them all. You know, asparagus, cucumber. Your fruits are going to be apples and grapes, you know, pears, oranges, all of those really, really high water content and fiber content foods. Last tip of the day, and this one's really important, is to stay hydrated. You've probably heard before that the brain gets confused with the hunger signal and the thirst signal. Oftentimes it sends a signal to your brain telling you that you're hungry, but you're actually thirsty. It has a hard time distinguishing the difference. So if you're feeling hungry, always go and get a big drink of clean, purified water first. Drink 15 minutes before a meal and about 15 minutes after a meal as well to make sure that you're fully hydrated. Hydration should also increase when you are exercising, when you live in a higher altitude or a warmer climate. Make sure that you're getting that hydration. The hydration is so important. It really helps enable your body to function properly, to have mental clarity, and to function at optimal levels. That's what we're all about. It's functioning at our optimal, happiest, most vibrant levels. And so those are my 8 tips for you today. 8 ways to feel fuller on a calorie deficit, on less calories. And I want to thank you for watching this. And if you want more information, please visit us at getyoursexybackplan.com, and we will get you that healthy, sexy, lean body that you want and that absolute confidence so you can be radiating and vibrant and happy. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next time.